Fire Chief Suhr! 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 Fire Chief Suhr!
Not gonna let you get away with this.
That's right.
We're gonna fight you to the end.
Fight to the end.
We're gonna fight you to the end. You've been doing this over 400 years, and it's time to stop. You got to stop this mess.
Got to stop it.
The young generation is a fearless generation.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're the most fearless generation that we've ever had. You must recognize them. They're not going to put up with it. And with brothers such as ourselves standing here as advisors, older gentlemen and older advisors, from the clergyman to the Muslim to grassroots, we're going to fight you to the end.
Power to the...
We demand resolutions. In San Francisco, Mayor Lee, Chief Suhr, the POA breaks their promises to the people. We are demanding resolutions. We are demanding justice for Mario Woods. We are the Justice for Mario Woods Coalition. Clap it up.
That's right.
We are here, standing here as one, together, unified, of over 17 organizations, and we are demanding the firing of Chief Suhr.
That's right.
We are demanding that Mayor Lee holds Chief Suhr as official misconduct.
That's right.
We are saying that
Fire Chief Suhr!
Chief
Fire
Suhr,
Chief Suhr! Fire 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 Chief Suhr!
all right then, thank you, brothers and sisters. And so we are going to speak to the press, because usually the press does not want to talk to us intelligently so that we can get our demands out, so we can tell them how our community feels. Again, we are demanding the firing of Chief Suhr. We are demanding that all 5 officers who shot Mario Woods be put up on murder charges.
That's right.
Yeah.
The San Francisco police officers' weapons is semi-automatic. They hold anywhere from 15 to 16 rounds. And if all of the weapons were fired, that means 75 or 80 shots were fired. We do not know the truth right now. We are demanding the truth.
About that. There's a Shah Khan game going on here.
Yes.
The subject is murder.
Yes.
The subject is what?
Murder. Murder.
So in other words, you murder a man, and then you tell him the holster is gone because we're going to give him a taser. That's called subject before the subject. Of course we need sensitivity training. That's why we have the Bay Area African American Community Police Relations Board, who dealt with that. But this police chief refused to engage this community organization that was dealing with sensitivity training. I'm here to say that we want the chief fired. I want to take it to another level. I'm thinking that what the chief, if he is going to continue to support open murder in daylight on the streets of San Francisco with the justification that they were following police procedures, then he becomes a conspirator to murder himself, and he doesn't need to be fired. He needs to turn himself in to the DA's office and be booked for murder, because he is guilty as his gang members. And that's what I want to say. Everything else has been plain. We don't have to keep talking about what needs to happen. There's some things that can happen after the chief turned himself in, after these murderers are arrested, convicted, sent to prison. Then we can start talking about getting us a new mayor. Hello? He can't continue to hide from his responsibility of putting some safety and protection on this city. There's been more murders under his mayorship than any other mayor in history. The police department is corrupt, and he needs to...
Our name really don't matter, right? None of y'all really care about us. I am Mario Woods. I represent that family.
Yes.
And we hurting out here.
Yes.
Y'all talking about, I see online people talking about, well, black people kill each other. You know, y'all don't care about us. Y'all here because this is another story. But we hurting out here. We hurting each other because we don't have nothing. We don't have no jobs to go to. We don't have no business owners to raise us in families and stuff like that. You feel me?
Come on now.
They savagely murdered him.
That's right.
Target practice. That's what it was. Target practice.
Yes.
You feel me? Our people, we need to wake up.
Right.
Stand together every day. This ain't just for this week. This ain't just for this month. We can't let another one happen like this. No more.
No more.
Justice for Mario! Justice for Mario!
Every day we need to wake up, look at our people, and love them. It's a wake-up call for us. We need to stand together. Stop waiting for them to take care of us because they're not going to do it. Tasers ain't going to do nothing. That's just a new way to kill us. You know what I mean? We out here. We not going nowhere. We screaming justice for Mario Woods, justice for all our black soldiers that tried to murdered in the street.
Black and brown.
Like the power for Mario Woods. No justice.
Our demands are simple. We want Chief Suhr fired. Him resigning is an easy way out. That's a sucker's way out. He's still gonna get that pension. We don't want him to get nothing.
Right.
We want him indicted.
We want him fired. The 5+ officers. It was way more than 5 officers. Shoot, we want all of them brought on charges, and we want them to sit under the jail like y'all do us. Anytime we shooting somebody, we getting charged immediately. It shouldn't take no year or two to get no charges brought up on them.
Like the power for Mario Woods.
We want the funeral paid for it from the city, reimbursement for all the services that was paid for, and everything like that. And a personal apology to Gwendolyn Woods.
Mayor Lee is proving to be a weak mayor.
Yes. That's right.
To answer the cry of Mario Woods in this community, the answer is not tasers.
That's right.
How dare you offer tasers as an answer? If this department can't manage its guns, can't manage its beanbags, can't manage its pepper spray, why would we give this department more tools to electrocute human beings?
Set my people free. We are tired of this racial bondage that we are subjected to all over the world. It is a reflection of the inhumanity towards black people in not only San Francisco, but all over the world. We want to stop the environment that allows a Chief Suhr, Ed Lee, and all these other agencies that have been using our communities as a form of bureaucratic colonialism. We have to stop being their answer to global labor issues. We don't want to feed the prison industrial complex anymore. We don't want to be the race that is called when you talk about human population control. We are tired of being exploited by America. We want accountability from the top down. We don't want to replace somebody just to have it replaced by somebody else that's doing the same thing over and over again. Change the system. Get rid of all the people that are accountable for the things that have happened in our community. And that doesn't stop at Chief Suhr. That goes all the way up to the top. Anybody that is elected by us, which means they work for us, if they're not doing the job, needs to resign or be fired. God bless.
As a member of a family that have suffered the pain and the traumatization that Mario Woods' family has suffered, is painful. I want you to know that because of the community, as I always say, embracing us, standing with us, crying with us, going back and forth to court with us, but most importantly, utilizing your First Amendment right to speak to that very injustice of what we saw happen to Mario Woods. Because of that community, because of labor getting involved, the ILW Local 10 that is standing with the community, we were able, for the first time in California state history, to get an officer arrested, charged, convicted, and sent to jail.
Yeah.
That's right.
I say this over and over and over so that we can be clear that we can win this war.
That's right.
There's a common thread that I want to share with you that I see happening all across this nation. Chief G of the Park Police Department, who was responsible for Oscar murder, resigned because of the community.
That's right.
Chief Lee of Sanford Police Department resigned because of the community of the murder of Trayvon Martin.
That's right.
Chief Batts of the Baltimore Police Department resigned because of the murder of Freddie Gray and the involvement of the community.
That's right.
Chief Thomas of the Ferguson Police Department resigned because of the murder of Michael Brown and the community effort in pushing him out.
That's right.
And the chief in Chicago, as we know just recently, resigned because of the murder of Laquan McDonald.
That's right.
I'm telling you this because if we follow the pattern, Chief G is gone.
That's right.
We're standing here telling him to resign. But as Minister Christopher said, if he doesn't resign, we will make him resign.
That's right.
The only way that's going to happen as a community is that we must stand together, we must speak loud about this, and we must speak on the same point. Chief Suhr, you got to go. Resign.
Sir! Sir, no, sir! Sir, no, sir! Sir, no,
Good day. I'm the mother of Idris Stelly, a 23-year-old black man who was my only child, who received 48 bullets inside of the Metreon 14 years ago. What has changed? Absolutely nothing. And for my hermanos y hermanas here, I'm going to articulate the demands in Spanish, okay? Okay. And that's what he will say is, we want Suhr out of San Francisco, and we want the 5 assassins of Mario upstairs on the 7th floor here, okay? Para el jefe, fuera! El jefe, fuera! El jefe, fuera!
Good morning, sisters and brothers. My name is Valoria Russell Benson. I am a healthcare industry chair, and I am on the board of SEIU Local 1021. I am sickened by the murders that's going on in this this city. And I am sick and tired of every time we turn around, the officers are murdering our children. This has got to stop. Sir, no sir, I say it again. Sir, no sir. Mayor Ed Lee needs to step up and apologize to the families. He needs to step up and stand out and let these families know that he has their support instead of the officers. And on...
Recall him! Recall him!
Yes, recall him.
Recall him, he's just next.
So I give my prayers and support on behalf of SEIU Local 1021 for the families of all the young men that has been lost.
Okay, I'm Eli Crawford from Raw Talk and from the New Community Leadership. And I'm here today to support everybody here, period. Yes, it got to be stopped. But one of the things that nobody has mentioned about any trauma people to come out to the Bayview. We need trauma people to come out to the Bayview, because we have a whole community that is scared and traumatized. We have children that sat and watched that murder being committed. As one of this community, I'm here and gonna be here to support the mothers of lost children, the families of lost children, the families of those who have been incarcerated and sent to prison by railroad situations. Yes. We have a big problem, not only in San Francisco, but as the brother said, all over this country, because the same thing is happening. We need our people to come together at this time. Take this opportunity to understand that it's a great need to become as one to fight this monster. We're fighting a monster, a giant monster that we have to deal with. And it does go with the firing or resignation of Chief Suhr as well as Mayor Lee, because he hasn't stepped to this community in no form or fashion except for a vote.
Black Lives Matters. No justice, no peace. Fight the power for Mario Woods. No justice, no peace. Fight the power for Mario Woods. Hey, we as a coalition, we want Chief Suhr fired. If he don't want or resign. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the murdering cops that shot that young man at point blank range, we want them brought up on murder charges immediately. Not later on, but right now. Right now, them guys need to be brought up on murder charges, like the minister said, not a paid vacation, not suspended with pay, but we want them brought up on murder charges, okay? Chief Suhr needs to resign. Ain't nowhere in the world a young man that's not posing a threat should have been handled the way he was handled, okay? First of all, we got 8 officers out there that's physically fit, that's been trained. They should have been able to take that young man down with a billy club, some type of physical force. Ain't no way in the world that brother should be in the grave, being buried yesterday. If anything, that man should be in 850 Bryant doing 6 months in jail, 2 months in jail, or possibly bailing out. He should be walking out the courthouse today if the police would have handled it the appropriate way. Ain't no way in the world they should have put their guns to use when that man wasn't posing no threat. Okay, you could have gave him a pass and let him walk down the block like he was trying to do, and possibly arrested him around the corner. We're not saying that he shouldn't have been arrested, okay, but ain't no way in the world is acceptable. Ain't no way in the world it's acceptable for him to be shot over 40 times. Talk to me. Okay, that's the bottom line. Okay, it was excessive, it was unacceptable, it was unnecessary, and the officers conducted themselves with a lack of intelligence and a lack of sensitivity for human life.
My name is Valoria Russell Benson. I am on the executive board of SEIU Local 1021, and I'm also a mother of sons that was raised right here in San Francisco. As I said, I am sickened and I am furious with the police on young men and women, brutality, murders. It has gotten way out of hand, and they need to be prosecuted and brought to justice. And we will fight. I will continue to help them fight this fight, because I don't want to see my young grandsons or anyone else's daughters and sons murdered anymore. I'm tired of it. We have to do something about it. Like she said, we have to mobilize and get active in the streets to stop this violence.
What role do the unions play in this? The unions are under attack.
The public workers are always under attack. But today we're talking about young men and women under attack. Yes, the public workers are under attack. And SEIU, we stand here in support of young men and women and their families that are victims, as well as the ones that are being killed.
Do you think they can get justice in the system?
You know what? With my God, anything is possible. We got to keep fighting. We can't stop. We have to continue to fight for that justice.
Do you think the chief has some responsibility?
I feel that the men that did the murder, they are under his command. So therefore, he should be held accountable in some way. If it goes to him being a part of them getting fired, because they need to be fired and brought to justice, they need to be prosecuted. But he has to do something. The young black youth are under attack. We do get racial profiled on a daily basis. It doesn't matter where you go in this city, even though you're born and raised in this city, your parents work pay taxes in this city, and yet you are still racial profiled. Yes, to the highest degree, racial profiled, and that's got to stop. And we're going to fight until we stop it.
Do you think that the developers and speculators who want the land in Hunters Point Bayview want African Americans out of San Francisco?
Of course they do. Of course they do. That's why the rent is going high. That's why they're shutting all of the low-income areas down, paying our families to move elsewhere. This is a tech city. They've turned a family city into a tech city.
You think this would happen in the white community?
Oh no. Now you're joking. No, it's not. It's not happening there. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if even in the white community something started happening. But right now, they're taking over the black communities. They're taking over. They're shutting down. They shut down Hunters Point. They tore down and build apartments and condos to where low-income families cannot move there. A place where they grew up, where their parents grew up and raised them at. But they can't afford to live there. Here, I had to move my kids out of San Francisco because I couldn't afford to raise them here.
But you think there should be a right to live here?
Of course it should be a right to live here. I was born and raised here. My parents was raised here. They worked and paid taxes here for the city of San Francisco. I pay my taxes here. I work for the city in San Francisco. But yeah, I should be able to raise my grandchildren should be able to be raised here. We helped build this city.
And the role of the Police Officers Association, what is the role in San Francisco? It seems people have said that they control the mayor, they control the chief of police.
You know, that's what it seems, because when a lot of police brutality happens, it's swept under the rug. A blind eye is turned towards it. And yeah, I believe that. But we have to do something to take that control back from them.
Okay. What is it? Do you know what the percentage rate of black is for black African youth? I know Mario was going to get a job as a UPS worker. Hired by the hotels.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. But at least, as Mario was, he was trying to better his life. He did get a job. And that whole snuffed out. A young man that made some wrong mistakes, went to jail, paid his dues, got out, and tried to change his life. And upon doing that, he was snuffed out.
My name is Karen Jobert. I'm the Vice President of Representation for SEIU Local 1021. We stand here in support of this that has happened and taken place is an execution and is unfair to Mario Woods. We support with our youth, we support with our adults, we support with the communities. As a native of San Francisco, I too see that this was an execution. And knowing that people are unable to be able to live, to thrive, and to strive, we say that there should be a mandate for Chief Suhr that this is unacceptable for the city of San Francisco and our communities all around. Thank you.
Apparently he said that the shooting was justified. How can you say something like that without an investigation?
Exactly. How can you justify a shooting with 8 people involved with a single person who had nothing but a small knife? How can you justify the number of rounds that was put into the body of this innocent life? What happened to our training of how to comprehend someone without taking them and taking their lives? Because at the end of the day, the Mario Woods family has lost a loved one. The community has lost one. And the thriving for our city has changed because of this execution.
And does it have any connection with Alex Vieto and the other kind of?
Yes, exactly. And so it makes us wonder the connection of what type of training are we doing? What are we treating? Are we treating people like they are actually animals and we're not even treating them in respect at all? this is San Francisco turning into what Ferguson looks like. And as our leaders have spoken prior, we must do something about this. We must make a change.
And his family had been removed through gentrification.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about the effect on workers?
Yes, exactly. Families being gentrified who were born and raised here, not able to even live here, though they may work here, being moved out and now being moved to places that they can't even afford there too. Our youth not being able to have services and resources accessible to them, not able to get an education here in the city of San Francisco that is supposed to be a diverse city, a population for everyone. This is totally family kicked out of here, and as a result, you kill their loved one as well as kicking them out of here. So you've broken the family.
And is this ethnic cleansing, do you think? Is this ethnic cleansing? Is that
I think this is ethnic beating is what this is. Exactly.
Now, it's been mentioned here about the role of the Police Officers Association. What role do they have in this incident and also in the labor movement? Apparently there's been controversy with the Labor Council.
We definitely know that the Police Officers Association with this, we know that as in all things, all is not opposed to doing what is right. But what is the association is their rule to make sure that education, making sure that they work in the community, and that also making sure that the community knows that they're there, but not in this way where they're killing someone, that they're working with the community. It should be there.
Has the POA threatened or criticized SEIU1021 to stand on civil rights in that?
They have spoke to us regarding that, asking us to work, and we're asking them, we want to work with them. Let's work in partnership to fix this situation and do a change with this. Let's work together as a community and let SEIU1021 help in building this partnership together to take care of our people.
And public workers, a large number of public workers are under attack. They want to bust the public workers unions.
Yes.
I mean, public worker jobs have been a way for the African American
exactly.
community. Why don't you talk about that?
Yes. Having public work, having unions has been a way for people to take care of their families, has been able for them to advance, has been a way for them to be able to maintain and live in San Francisco, the services that are provided through this. And so we say no to banishing and disbanding unions. This is a way that a movement for people to advance, to help thrive for the city. These public servants and workers of the city who are part of the union has been the reason and the cause that San Francisco has progressed in the way that it has, being a progressive for families and by families.
Now, the Officers for Justice here.
Yes, the Officers for Justice, who are predominantly African American officers who are in the community, who are doing part in the community, helping with services. They're being attacked. They're also being a part of trying to bring the education, trying to bring the change, trying to help to get more diversified officers in the police officers so that it won't be looked as one against the other. And so the Officers for Justice have taught education. They've helped to enable people to become officers and help families in the community who's been dealing with it. They've also been present, going around, helping in this crisis situation now.
And they've been targeted too with racist emails.
Exactly. Racist emails, abuse and so forth.